Welcome to Harness Central. I'm Harold Howe at First Line Training Center, north of Mohawk Racetrack, with Mark Steacy. Mark, you made a trip from Lansdowne this morning. I guess a 4-hour run to be here, and this is just noon. And I didn't see you jogging anything, but you came anyway.
It's a lot cooler up here than it is back at home. Things are no snow at home when I left, anyways. But no, Sean's got everything under control here.
Okay, we're going to have a chat about a few things, and I'm kind of going to go back to front here on this. You had an extremely good year. You're going to be right around 1.9 million by the end of the month, which is just a hair short of your best year ever. I think that's remarkable because it wasn't that long ago. You were pretty down on the game after the announcement at the end of the slots deal for horse racing. You had listed your farm in Lansdowne, and it didn't look too rosy, but you were able to adapt from what I can see. Right now, you said you've got 53 head in total at the two places, which is the largest your stable's ever been. You split the stable, and you have some here at First Line Training Center, and then you have your babies down the farm. You adapted, you survived, and actually progressed, and it's quite an accomplishment, really. But I'm curious what you think when you look at this as you get ready to bugger off and go on holidays.
Well, yeah, no, for sure. It was scary at the time, and especially with my boys coming in with me too. And it wasn't just a living for myself; it was for them too. But with me, it's pretty much all I know. I don't know what else I could do besides the horses. I did this all my life, so I just had to dig deeper. And I was very fortunate to have good clients behind me that stuck with me even through this. And we just had to dig deeper, buy better horses, and work harder at it. And there was times when we did a lot of traveling around just to try to get where we are. And it didn't come easy, but it worked out well.
But there must have been a couple moments. I'm sure there were some owners, you weren't that fussed on really ringing them and saying, we got a game changer here. Things are going to be different. We've got to buy better horses. It's going to take more money. I'm going to split the stable. You like to come to the farm and see your horses, but that isn't going to happen. You're going to have to go up to First Line for some. All these different things factored into it, and it all worked out. But there must have been a bit of trepidation as to whether or not you could pull it all together.
Obviously, yeah, no, wasn't sure, but again, I had to make it work because I don't know what else I could do,
But we also know a number of guys who were in this somewhat similar situation who couldn't make it work, and they're gone.
True, but I just boil it down to just working real hard at it and thinking positive, and just trying to go forward through there. But I was very fortunate that I was able to have a good collection of owners that were able to back me up and keep me going, and had confidence in us to do this. And it's worked out well, and it's been a lot of pressure relief since then.
One of the things all of us in the trade media are guilty of is we'll zero in on a trainer who's got a premier horse. He might have a barn full that can't get out of their way, but we get focused on that one. But when you look at your season, it was interesting that you didn't have any real gunslingers. The best one, money-wise, was Royal Charm. She made $341,000. But you had like a team almost that all contributed. And I'm just curious if you think, having gone through it now, from a business point of view, is it better to have it like that? Or would you prefer simply to have a Sunshine Beach who made $900,000 in one season?
That's a tough thing to say. It's obviously.
That's why I asked.
Yeah, well, everybody wants to have that Sunshine Beach or Majestic Sun or a horse of that stature. But it's probably a good thing to have it spread out like that, because you're keeping a lot more of your clients satisfied. It's not the same person's not getting it all, and. But as far as what you're in this business for, everybody wants to be at the big show, and to be at the big show, you got to have the big horse. We didn't have that horse this year. We played it a little bit in it, but it was spread out between probably 10 or 12 or 15 of them, and it kept a lot more my clients much more happy that way.
I want to talk about Royal Charm because she was the big breadwinner. She didn't make any money her last 3 starts. What was the story there?
Well, she had a little bad luck. She went down to the Meadowlands. I think it was the Breeders' Crown Limbs, but I think she had a bad post, and she got locked in from the start. She could never move from start to finish, and the horse raced good, but just with racing luck, just it didn't work out. And then the next start at the Matron or whatever at Dover, she run before the gate even got going. So it was nothing wrong with the horse. It was bad racing luck. That's
And her future?
I think she'll be all right. She's filled out. I was looking at it. It's the first time I've seen her since Dover, and she's filled out. She's grown, and I think she's got the speed to go with the aged horses. So she just got to get more sure-footed.
We've talked about this before. I mean, there's a lot of positive things to say, but this is a game of disappointments. And while I say you had a bunch here that did well, I know there's some two-year-olds that, kept you up at night for this, that. And I've said this before too. It seems like after all these years of selecting horses, nobody's doing any better strike rate wise in finding those ones that are going to do the job. And when you went to yearling sales this fall, I'm assuming you kind of went out the same way you have been going at it, and you sort of hope for the best.
Yeah, well, I think you can look at that yearling, and they can look great on the outside, but nobody knows what's in the inside of them, and it takes a lot of luck to get them there. So many things can go wrong, and so many things do go wrong too. But it all boils down to you got to have luck too. And yeah, no, even though we did good at 1.9 or whatever, there's a lot of we bought some pretty high-profile babies the year before, and none of them reached up to do what we really hoped that they could do. Now that said, they did show enough potential that can still come in their 3-year-old year, and I think it will on a few of them. But a lot of luck's involved as well.
Who said not to? Where do you qualify that horse in the scheme of things?
Well, that horse was probably the most expensive baby I ever bought, $140,000, and just ran through a lot of colt soreness all summer. And yet we only raced him 3 or 4 times, and he showed a little bit. And that colt, I really do believe he's going to step up and play with the good horses next year. But obviously he didn't do it this year at 2, and Tuxedo Bay was another one. And that in that respect, it was a little disappointing.
Happy Hannah.
Happy Hannah was a filly that started out very well. Looked like she was going to be a real top filly. And she got roughed up a little bit there at the start of the year. I forget which stake, but it seemed to take a little bit out of her. And she just kind of didn't finish the year off too good. Hopefully, with a long rest, she'll get over that and come back. She was sound when we quit with her. But I think just raced a little bit tough at the start and just caught up to her.
Now, you were telling me you've got 53 head in total, 25 yearlings, 27 yearlings, something like that. And then the balance, which would be about 28 carryovers. With the operation split, is that the right formula, do you feel, going into the winter here?
Yeah, I think that's a good fit. Actually, this year, or going into 17, we're even going to have like 5 or 6 aged horses, which we hardly ever did before. And so with having the barn up here at First Line just outside of Mohawk, I think it's going to work very well. We work on the babies at home and get them developed, bring them all up here in the summer, and but yeah, we should have a little bit of everything.
Well, thanks for sharing your thoughts, and congratulations on a very good year, and still not quite over yet, and enjoy your upcoming holiday.
Thanks, Harold.
Harold Howe with Mark Steacy, giving you the Harness Racing Edge.